It's
Man,
acting
they
out. It
was killing
started.
us.
Okay, now it's on. It's recording now.
Shalom, shalom.
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 Shalom, shalom.
Yeah. So this is how you say impromptu class, I guess, or whatever.
Q&A. Q&A. Why not Q&A?
Q&A. Yeah, Q&A. So we get into that morning star thing. I'm getting into that morning star thing, but again, like I was saying, because the Christian church they take that Lucifer and all that stuff. First of all, Lucifer is only in the scriptures one time, and it's in Isaiah, which is in the Hebrew scriptures. Lucifer is not a Hebrew word, so why is that word even in there? Why they didn't translate it? Because we're gonna get into all that. We're gonna get into all that, but the main thing is to even understand what's going on. We're gonna go through the whole chapter so we can get clear context and see that that's not talking about Satan. That's not his name. You know what I mean? That just means like star basically. You know what I mean? But we're gonna get into that, right? So yeah, whoever wanna read, we're gonna start at 14, Isaiah 14 from the top.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and verse 1.
Hmm.
For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel,
Now everybody hears him clearly, huh?
Con.
Khan.
All right.
and set them in their own land, and the
Khan.
strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Now this is a future prophecy that's about to happen. This is when we get delivered out of this captivity and we go back into our land. It says the Most High will have mercy on Jacob. We know who Jacob is. Jacob is the father of Israel. And he'll call people after their forefathers. He called the house of David, descendants of David, they'll call him David. Descendants of Levi, they'll call him Levi. Descendants of Edom, they'll call Esau. You know what I mean? Same thing with Israel. Descendants of Israel, they'll call Jacob. So he says, I'll have mercy on Jacob and will what? Read that again.
I'll have mercy on Jacob. So like I lost my place.
That's start
And
from the
will
top.
yet choose Israel.
Israel.
And will yet choose Israel, and
Uh-huh.
set them in their own land.
So he's gonna have mercy on Jacob, choose Israel, the children of Israel. Most I always put Israel before everybody else. He's gonna have mercy on Jacob, choose Israel, who's his chosen people, and he's gonna put us back in our own land. We all remember that we were scattered to the four corners of the world. So he's gonna put us back in our true land, that motherland, the land of Israel. Right? Read.
And the strangers shall be joined with them,
So the strangers, the other nations, are gonna be joined to us. Right? Read.
and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And they're going to cleave to the house of Jacob. Why would they cleave to the house of Jacob? Because they're going to know and realize that the Most High is dealing with us. You know what I mean? We went through that a few times over. Go to the beginning of Isaiah, Isaiah chapter 2. Isaiah chapter 2. Could read from the top of that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
The word of that Isaiah, the son of Amos,
Mm-hmm.
saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Right, Judah, concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Read.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Most High and the mountain of the Most High's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Right. So we see mountains a lot of times signify a government. You feel what I'm saying? So he's saying the mountain of the Most High, which is Israel, is going to be set on top of every other mountain. So we're going to be the highest government in the world, right? Read.
And shall be exalted over the hill.
Exalted above the hills, read.
Above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
So all these nations, they're going to realize they're going to flow onto it, read.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, to the house of the gods of Jacob.
So he said, let us go to the mountain of the Most High, the government of the Most High, to the house of the God of Jacob. Right? Read.
And he shall teach us of his ways.
Right. They're going to come to us actually wanting to learn how to serve the Most High. Right? Read on.
And we will walk in his path. Paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the laws.
For all those that want to say the law is done away with, oh, we don't got to keep the law. They saying they going there so we could teach them the ways of the Most High, because the law is coming from there. We gonna teach them that law. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Go for out of Zion shall go forth that law." We gonna be pushing that law heavy on people, right? We don't.
And the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. And he shall judge them, and he should judge among the nations.
Yeah, we're gonna judge. That word in Hebrew, shapat. We're gonna put that judgment on, beating them with that rod of iron, and making sure that they follow the Most High. Right? He say he's gonna judge among the nations, right? Read.
And shall rebuke many people.
And we know rebuke. People don't like that rebuke. The rebuke means they was wrong, and we're gonna make sure they get right. Right, read.
And they shall beat their swords into
plowshares,
and the spears unto pruning hooks. Right.
So basically they're not going to be fighting against us. Right. Read on.
Nations shall not lift up sword against nation. Neither shall they learn war anymore.
And that's the goal. We're going to get it to the point where nobody's going to be fighting against each other anymore. It's not going to be, because everybody's going to wind up being on one accord. With Israel being on top, everybody's going to follow suit. Right, read?
O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Most High.
Right. So we got to walk in the light of the Most High, and they're going to follow right behind us. Right? So, yeah, it's got all these people that's going to be joining to us. Plus, we could go real quick to Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9, verse 11. To get an idea of what it means when they're going to be joined to us. You know what I mean?
They're already joining to us.
Yeah. Huh?
They already joining to us.
Yeah, they trying, but this is gonna be more. So
Amos 9 and 11.
Yeah, we're gonna read 11 and 12.
Verse 11. Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
So you're going to raise up the tabernacle of David, the whole house of Israel. When David was together ruling, the whole house of Israel was on one accord, everything was smooth. So you say going to raise up the tabernacle being the house, tent, whatever. Tabernacle of David that is fallen. You know, we fell. Israel fell as a people. He's going to raise us up, right? Read.
And close up the breaches thereof.
I mean, he's going to close up all the gaps. It's going to be, close up all the cracks. It's going to be like it never fell before. We're not going to fall ever again. We're going to be on top. Right, read.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Our ruins being our land. He's going to raise up our land, build it like the days of old. The land of milk and honey that everybody wanted, the most beautiful place on the planet. Right now, people go there, they talk about it's a desert and this and that. He's going to raise it up to its former glory. Right, read.
Verse 12, that they may possess the remnant of Edom.
So we're going to be build it as the days of old, that we may possess the remnant of Edom, showing the remnant of Edom, the amount that survives this upcoming destruction of the so-called Caucasians, will be a possession to the children of Israel. A possession, like you can't possess another person that's on your level. You possess somebody that's under you. You know what I'm saying? You possess a slave, a servant. So Edom is going to be under us. They're going to be a possession, right, Reed?
And of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this.
And all the heathen that's able to survive, the Most High is going to make them a possession to the children of Israel. Right? So we can go back to Isaiah 14.
So that means everybody in the world, except for
everybody.
Israel.
Everybody's going to be a possession to the children of Israel.
Including conquistadors.
Especially conquistadors. Now, everybody, we got to remember too, everybody got a certain amount of time. Basically, it's like a jail sentence. You feel what I'm saying? They all got a certain amount of time they got to do and then they get out, and you know, as long as then they're gonna be on parole. They gotta check in. You feel what I'm saying? They gotta check in. They gotta make sure they following what we say that they could do. You know
Except
what I mean?
for Edom.
Huh?
Except for Edom, Khan.
Edom is always gonna be. Edom got a life sentence, and they on death row.
I thought they got.
And then they die off, huh?
Okay, no, yeah, you said it because I thought they didn't make it after a while. Yeah.
Esau never goes home. They the only ones that never get to go. Actually, I'm lying. Canaan got a life sentence. Esau is on death row.
That's what I thought.
Everybody else got a certain amount of time that they got to do. Right? But yeah, we could go on. Let's get Isaiah 14, and we can start from the top again.
Sucks to be
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
From the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and yet will choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right, so all these nations are going to cleave to the house of Jacob. Read on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them. There
goes that word again, possess. The house of Israel shall possess them, right? Read.
In the land of the Most High for servants and handmaidens.
So we're going to possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaids. They're going to be our servants. They're going to be our slaves. That's what it is. Right? Read.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
Right. The same way we was their captives, they're going to be our captives. We got to remember, the Most High does not change. Eye for an eye, tooth for the tooth. He meant that. He meant that. He didn't mess up. He didn't make no mistake. Yahweh Shai ain't come and change nothing. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Yahweh Shai, when he came, what he did was he tried to push. When you look in the Lord, there's mercy. That's in there. You feel what I'm saying? The Most High showed mercy, and that's what he was trying to teach Israel to do amongst each other. That's it. He didn't change anything.
Amongst each other, not everybody, correct?
Amongst each
you don't
other.
have to love everybody.
Huh?
I said, amongst each other. We don't have to love everybody.
Love is what we need to realize too. Love is an action. It's not an emotion. It's how you treat your people. You feel what I'm saying? The Most High actually taught us that by law that we're not supposed to love everybody by law. We're supposed to love Israel. Matter of fact, real quick, let me grab something.
I got a short precept. Just a short precept.
What you got?
Tobit, chapter 2.
What you got?
Tobit, chapter 2, and verse 2.
That's what I was thinking of.
It says, and I saw an abundance of meat, and I said to my son, go and bring what poor man soever thou shalt find out of our brethren who is mindful of the Lord. And lo, I tarry for thee. So he told his son to go out there, and because I'm always at work, and they're always talking about, well, you're a man of the Lord. Aren't you just supposed to feed everybody? And I'll bring up Tobit too, and I'll be like, no, actually, I'm supposed to find my own, and of my own, those who are mindful of the Lord. That's who I was supposed to give the food to, not just randomly anybody.
Right. Here, let's grab on real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 23. 23. We can start at verse 3.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 3. An Ammonite or a Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation.
So now this is going into, the sacrifice of the Most High, them bringing sacrifices and so on. He said the Ammonite and the Moabite, they could never, even to the 10th generation, meaning they could never sacrifice to the Most High. You know what I mean? Forget them, right? But read on.
Shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever?
Read.
Verse 4, because they met you not with bread and with water in the way when ye came forth out of Egypt, and because they hired against thee Balaam, the son of Beor of Pethor, of Mesopotamia, to curse thee.
Now this is one person that did this. You feel what I'm saying? One king that had hired Balaam. So the Most High charged the whole nation for that. You know what I'm saying? He like, yo, listen, they can never come. This is reason why, because they can never come here this and that, right? But read on.
Nevertheless, the Lord thy God will not hearken unto Balaam.
Which the Most High didn't. He turned the curse into a blessing, right? Read.
But the Lord thy God turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because the Lord thy God loved thee.
The Most High loved us, right? Read on.
Thou shalt not seek their peace nor their prosperity all thy days forever.
So according to the Most High, we're not supposed to seek no type of peace nor prosperity for these people. If they hurting in the streets, they hungry, let them starve. If they burning, do not even piss on them. Let them burn. You feel what I'm saying? That's what the Most High said about these people.
Let him read that part again.
Yeah, read that again.
Say that.
Somebody put that on repeat. Rewind.
Read that again.
Yeah, Most High God said, "Thou shalt not seek their peace nor their prosperity all thy days forever." Right, and we could also grab Deuteronomy 7, and actually, I'm glad y'all had me record this because I didn't, you know, of course, we don't expect to go into all this stuff, and we wind up it just coming out in the spirit. Right. But yeah, we go to Deuteronomy 7, and we can start from the top, start from the first verse.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, from the top. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Verse 2, and when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
So the Most High say, yo, when you get into the land, kill them off. You're not supposed to ask them nothing, none of that. Yo, get in there, kill them, utterly destroy them, right? Read.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
He said, make no covenant with them. You're not supposed to make any type of agreements with them and show no type of mercy to these people. Right? Read on.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Right.
So he's letting us know, yo, don't make sure y'all don't marry these people. We're not supposed to have any type of dealings with these people at all.
For they will turn away thy son from following me, and they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
So the Most High is going to be mad at us if we deal with these people. Right? Read on.
But thus shall ye deal with them.
So he letting us know this is what you're supposed to do. Once you get in there, this is what you do with these people.
Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire.
Right. This is what we're supposed to do. Once we get in there, break down all the altars, all that stuff. Right? Read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Yeah, we're supposed to be a special people above all people that's upon the face of the earth. So the Most High told, like, love is an action. It's how you deal with people. You could like an Edomite all you want, but you know what I mean? You're not supposed to put them above Israel. You know what I mean? Love is an action. I'm not gonna feed no Edomite. They wicked as hell. I'm not gonna give them no money. Like I see people when I drive by, right, and I see people they asking for money. I ask them, yo, what's your nationality? If I got bread on me, yo, what's your nationality? You see me do that, right? Yo, what's your nationality? I'm gonna see what they say. If they say it is, I'll give them some, and I try to give them a flyer also. That's Esau now. I don't got nothing for you.
I do the same thing. When I pass by somebody,
that's me every day. I choose, literally, that's my job at my job, to choose who I will help. That's literally my job at my job. I am paid to choose who I am going to help and who the fuck I am not going to help. And this dictates
language.
Oh, right. Sorry, Salaki. And this dictates. Yeah. This dictates who I do that for and who I do not.
Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? We don't have to go around. I would definitely not suggest going around punching them in their face or anything like that. That's not something we should be doing. You know what I'm saying? We don't go around putting hurts on them.
It's hard
we don't treat them how we treat our people. That's it. That's all it is. That being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, that's what that's going into. And it's mainly dealing with Israel. That's dealing with Israel being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. We be wise. You'll be wise not to go and put no harm on these Edomites. Let their judgment run their course. It's almost over for them. The Most High got there. He said he told us to wait for him anyways. Let's get on real quick. Zechariah.
That's why he said that, because he knows if he put vengeance in our hands. Okay.
Yeah.
Like when Shapal posted that thing the other day. Hey, listen. Hey, I be having to calm down when I see and read things like that.
Khan, according to his anger. You turn right here.
Right. Zechariah chapter 3, verse 8. Because their time will come.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 3, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Hear now, O Joshua.
Salaki, Zephaniah, my fault. Zephaniah 3:8. My fault.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prayer.
Mosai told us, wait for him. Wait for him. We can't take nothing in our own hands. I don't remember people coming up to us in camp. Oh, what y'all trying to do? Y'all trying to rise up? Why y'all ain't rising up now? Or you just out here teaching? The Mosai told us, wait. It's not our turn. We still in punishment. Our people are still being punished right now. It's not us. It's not for us to jump the gun. We do everything on the Mosai's side, right? So he said, what? Read that again from the top.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey.
Mm-hmm.
For my determination is to gather the nations.
The Most High, he's like, yo, I'm going to get them all. I'm going to get them all one time and grab them all together, read.
That I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation.
Yeah, so when he ready, we going to rise up. Read on.
Even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All the earth shall be devoured with the fire of his jealousy. And we could grab real quick also what Shapar poured up the other day. Let's get Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 13. Not 13. I'm bugging. Ezekiel chapter
35, I think.
35. Come. 25. That's what I want. Ezekiel 25:13.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse 13.
Therefore,
saith the Lord God, I will also stretch out mine hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it.
So he said, Mosai said he's going to stretch out his hand over Edom and cut off man and beast from it. This is the Most High doing this, but how is he going to do it? Let's read on.
And I will make it desolate from Teman to Dedan, shall fall by the sword.
He said he's going to make it desolate from Teman, and day of Dedan shall fall by the sword. These people's going to die. They're going to be physically killed, right? Read.
And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. So
Edom is going to be killed off by his people Israel. We are going to be the hand of the Most High. So he wants them dead. He's going to have us doing it for him. Right, read.
And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
Saith the Most High power. Right? We're going to know. We're going to do according to his anger, because our people is not angry enough. Like, yo, if you could sit back and actually, let's think about it. If we could look back in our past lives and see what was done to us, what was done to our children, to our mothers. Like, yo, imagine how angry we would be.
I remember you telling me that.
I
remember you saying that to me once. And
yeah, the stuff that they show us, and they admit it too. The stuff that they show us on the movies is not as bad how it really was. They show it light, Roots, Apocalypto, all that stuff was light. Everything they show, they don't show us what they was really getting into.
And then our people want to love these people like they, because they human.
That's why I'm saying.
I said Khan, and our people want to love these people because they're human beings.
Yeah, they that's just something. We are naturally loving people when it comes to the other nations for some reason, but when it comes to our people,
wasn't there a Chinese lady that said,
yeah,
when it was, I think after the George Floyd, she was like, "Oh, y'all not mad enough. If that
yeah,
was
that's
our
a fact.
people, we crazy."
Yo, I wish I could find that. I remember Matato put that out one time. Yeah, she was like, "Yo, y'all mad because they want to be equal?" She was like, "If you ask me, they not mad enough. If it's me, if it was my people, I want revenge." This was a Chinese lady that said that.
So she knows.
She knows, but when it comes to Israel, all we want to do is be equal, looked at as equal. But again, that's part of that brainwashing that we went through. You know what I mean? Where we just want to be accepted as human beings. Nah, I want revenge, but I'm gonna wait for the Most High to do that. You know what I mean? But we could get back to the Most High is gonna do that. Yo, let's grab let's grab real quick Psalms 137. Come on, Psalms 137.
God.
Psalms 137. This is all out of the Bible, too. This is the Most High saying this is going to happen. Psalms 137. We can start at verse 7.
God. This is the book of Psalms 137, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom.
So David praying to the Most High, singing this song. He like, yo, remember the children of Edom. He's seeing in the future because it wasn't going on during his time. David was a prophet. We got to remember that. He's seeing the future. He's seeing us getting captured and carried away to Babylon. When we read this whole thing, it's talking about, when we read from the top, we see this is talking about us going into slavery here in America. This is what David was seeing. By the rivers of Babylon, that's talking about over here. We sat down, yea, we wept, and when we remembered Zion, we hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song, telling us, sing those old Negro spirituals. Play something for me. You know what I mean? That's what they was doing. This whole thing right here is talking about us being carried away captive here in America, right? But read verse 7 again.
This book of Psalms 137, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem.
So he's saying the children of Edom, this is how we did, which we also know is the so-called Caucasian people. He said in the day of Jerusalem, right?
Can y'all hear me?
Huh?
Yeah.
I can't hear.
I did not hear you.
Your mic's muted.
I can't hear Salakia for stopping y'all. I can't hear them.
Okay. I said, yeah, you can read out. Verse 7.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Remember, O Israel, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Raise it means to destroy it. So he's saying the children of Edom, when we was actually being carried away captive by the Cushites, the Edomites were saying, yo, raise it. They was cheering the Cushites on. They was cheering them on, saying, yo, raise it, destroy the temple, destroy the whole city, raise it to the foundation thereof, right? Read.
O daughter of Babylon.
So he's calling the Edomites here the daughter of Babylon. Edom and Cush is two different nations. We know this. This is letting us know that this whole thing is talking about this modern day Babylon, that spiritual Babylon. We're just talking about America. He said, O daughter of Babylon, which is the Edomites, read.
Who are to be destroyed.
Who ought to be destroyed. They was made to be destroyed. It's coming, right? Read.
Happy shall he be that rewarded those as thou hath served us. He
said, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So he's saying revenge. That's revenge. Happy will that person be that gets revenge and does what they did to us. You got to think about the stuff they did to us. They used to skin us. They used to hang us and cut our genitals off. They used to have dogs just rip us apart. They used to have tie us to horses and have the horses slowly pull us apart.
Used to have people die for pearls until they drowned. Yeah, I know.
Right, died for pearls. They took our babies and used them as alligator bait. They would cut our children's hands off and make them wear it around their neck because they wasn't working fast enough. The brother dropped off. You know what I mean? But this is the type of stuff that they did to us. And the Most High said, what? Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. How they did us, we're going to be happy to get that revenge because remember, he said he's going to bring everything into remembrance. Right? Read on.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stones.
Happy shall he be that taketh one of their little ones and dash him to the stones. I can't imagine being happy about that right now. That shows that I don't have the Most High. I can't do that. I can't look at a little baby and think, oh, it's going to be fun to just and dash.
That's funny. That's funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
That's funny you mentioned. Oh yeah, that's funny you mentioned that because I used to discuss with brothers. I'm like, you think you have this super faith. I'm like, let's imagine you were in the wilderness and the Most High instructed you when you go into this city, anything moving, you slaughter. So you got your broadsword. Right. So you got your broadsword, you got your shield, all y'all outside the city, y'all hype, right? Like, we about to go in here, we about to do this, man, I ain't never got to do this, man. We about to go in here and do this. Man, you get in there, you kill a couple people, you feeling hype, you kick in the next door, there's nothing in there but a 3-year-old child and a blanket. That's it. And they're sniveling and they're just looking at you. If you hesitated, that was the seed of no faith while you were in the wilderness. That hesitation when you saw that little kid for that second.
That's a fact. He told us what when we get our land, we were supposed to kill everybody in Amalek. The whole Amalek was supposed to die.
And even the fish.
Huh? Shabbat, what you said?
Salakia, nah, go ahead.
Yeah, and he said, and Saul got his crown taken because he wanted to take the king hostage. You know what I mean? The Most High, Samuel went in there. He was like, yo, didn't the Most High tell you kill everything?
Kill everything.
What are you doing? He told you kill everything. You know what I mean? The Most High is not nothing to play around with. But yeah, this just shows like.
Khan, that was Benjamin, right? That didn't want to kill everything, right?
Yeah, Saul, King Saul.
Yeah, see, Ephraim would have killed it all. You know what I'm saying?
Samuel the Levite, he had to put that work in. He the one who killed the king. He was like, yo, the Most High told you kill everything. What is you doing?
But imagine that you gotta. And, hey, listen, and during Jacob's trouble, I have a feeling it's not gonna be any different. Nothing different under the sun. You gotta
speak a little louder, Oxalaki.
I'm thinking to myself, like the day of Jacob's trouble, nothing new under the sun. You're gonna be confronted with that again.
Oh,
we're gonna have to deal with the heathen, and then it's gonna be that 2-year-old kid. And I'm like, hey, look, this thing's going to grow into the thing that killed George Floyd. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it's gonna get real hectic during that time. But you know what I mean? Most High said he's gonna put it in us where we're gonna do according to his anger. You know what I mean?
It's already in me. You can go ahead and set me loose right now. But I mean, I'll wait.
God. But yeah, we go back to Isaiah 14. What was that? 14:2, right? He said we'll rule over our oppressors. Yeah, read that again.
14:2. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High for servants and handmaidens. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
So we're going to take them captives, whose captives we were, and we will rule over our oppressors. That word, let me grab that up real quick. That word rule over our oppressors. Give me a sec. Share my screen real quick.
You got the hang of it, huh?
Yeah, little something. Okay, here you go. Right. Let's go down here and see what this word is. He said, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Radah, rule, have dominion, dominate, tread down, to have dominion, rule, subjugate, to cause to dominate, to scrape out, scrape out. There's nothing nice about this. This is not no nice rule. Y'all hear me? This is not no nice rule, right? To tread down, subjugate, specifically to crumble off, come to, make to, have dominion, prevail against, reign, bear, make to rule, take. There's nothing nice about this. Like it's not gonna be a nice rule for them. And we gotta remember what Yahweh Shah said too. We go to real quick Revelation. Revelations chapter 2 verse 26, and this is the words of Christ himself. You know what I mean? The words of Christ himself.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
So this is Christ speaking. He said, yo, those that overcome to the end, that make it to the end, he was going to give them power over the nations, right? Read on.
Verse 27. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
And we're going to rule them with a rod of iron. What do you do with a rod of iron? When you rule with a rod of iron, that's like how the Russians say rule with an iron fist. You know what I'm saying? That means that you're not going to be nice with them. You're going to make them feel it. They're going to be scared of you. He said you're going to rule them with a rod of iron, right? Read.
As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers. Yeah,
imagine that. Breaking a vessel, a vase, a vase, just taking it and throwing it to the ground, how it shatters. This is how he's saying we're going to rule over these people. You know what I mean? Right. As vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, right? Read.
Even as I received of my Father.
Even as he received of his Father, right? And read on, because this is actually going into what you just said too, what you was asking earlier, the whole reason why you went into Isaiah 14. But keep reading. What's the next verse say?
Verse 28. And I will give him the morning star.
I will give him the morning star. That morning star doesn't. All it means is that we're gonna be the ones looked up to. That's what that means. There's nothing special about it. Nothing supernatural. It just means we're gonna be the ones that's looked up to. Right? Read.
He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
Right. So we go back to Isaiah 14. Y'all can see my screen, right?
Come.
Shapa, you still there? I'm gonna have to go back to. Let me see. Go back because I can't see the StreamYard when I'm okay. I can't see the StreamYard when I'm sharing the screen. All right, so yeah, you keep on reading.
In Isaiah. This book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy score and from thy fear.
Rest from thy sorrow.
From thy sorrows.
Right. So this is gonna be the time where we actually get rest from our sorrow. Right now, we living in that sorrow time. Right now, we living in hell where your heart start pounding when you see a cop car pull behind you. They don't even got their sirens on or nothing. You just like you just off the red. No, like damn, they gonna pull me over. There's gonna be some problems. You know what I mean? Like
hey, Shapad is hitting the Shapad said bring me in the chat right here.
He said bring him in?
Yeah, in the private chat.
I thought he was on. I thought I seen him up there. Okay. Con. All right. Yeah, when I'm sharing my screen, actually I'm gonna get out this screen sharing right now.
Oh, you can't see
I'm gonna get up. Yeah, I can't see what's going on in StreamYard when I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
I just see that screen that pops, the main screen that y'all see. which is the blue letter. So if anything, just let me know. Keep an eye on it for me. But all right. So what was we at?
Verse 14. I mean,
3.
14, 3.
Yeah, read that again from the top.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the days that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrows and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve.
Right. So he said he's gonna give us rest from our sorrows, from our fear, from waking up early in the morning, because I hate waking up early in the morning, man. But it's still dark out. Like, I don't know, that's just don't feel natural to me. It don't. But you know what I mean? Having to wake up early, going slave, and then they taking money out of my check, which I ain't never tell them I was gonna pay them. You know what I mean? This and that. You know what I mean? Work our fingers to the bone just to barely make rent. You know what I mean? Hard times to survive, right? To read on.
Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
So now this is the king of Babylon, right? This is what is going into the king of Babylon. I want y'all to keep this in mind. Pay attention to this. Where we at right now?
Babylon.
We in Babylon right now. Who's the king of Babylon?
Esau.
Esau is the king of Babylon. Esau is running this. Esau as a people is running this whole thing, right? You could say Biden, you could say Trump, you could say Putin, you could say any of them, right? But Esau as a people is running Babylon. You know what I mean? It's not just one person. It's not just the president. They got the Rockefellers. You got the Queen. Queen.
The UN, right?
The
UN, right? The UN. Anything?
You say the UN. Well, yeah, you could say the UN. You could pretty much say that. I would say Esau though, Esau as a whole is the king of Babylon. They the ones that's running this. They got all the power.
I was saying Esau was the king of the UN. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, he's the king of the UN. He's the king of everything. He's running this. He's running this whole thing. Right? Right. Right. So he said he's gonna take this proverb against the king of Babylon. Right. Read on.
And say, how hath the oppressor ceased?
How has the oppressor ceased? It's gonna be a proverb, because right now we don't see that. Right now we see them falling. We seeing their kingdom starting to fall, but they still running everything. So during this time, when we get them in slavery, we're gonna be like, yo, damn, look how they fell. Like, how has the oppressor ceased? They was oppressing us, now we oppressing them. You feel what I'm saying? How has the oppressor ceased, right? Read.
The golden city ceased.
Golden city ceased. Where's the golden city? America.
Babylon.
Everybody looks at this place as the golden city. This is the place where everybody wants to go. This is the land of dreams, right? Ain't that what they call it? The
American dream.
The American dream. It's the land of hopes and dreams and all type of stuff that they say. This is
you move to America, you get rich.
Yeah, that's what they all feel.
The streets are paved with gold. Hey, there's people who still believe that.
Yeah, this is that golden city. Hey, I just proven that point. You know what I mean? This is that golden city. This golden city ceased. Both sides say he's gonna destroy this in an hour. Right? But read on.
Verse 5. The Most High had broken the staff of the wicked.
You know, the staff is looked at as, you know, a powerful symbol. You feel what I'm saying? A symbol of power. He said he broke the staff of the wicked, right? Read.
And the scepter of the rulers.
And the scepter of the rulers, which a scepter is known that's one of them things that the king would have in his hand. So the Most High breaking that, he's taking them out of power, right? So we see what it's talking about, kind of. We see what it's talking about. It's talking about Esau right now, right? But read on.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
He that smote the people in wrath with the continuous stroke. We constantly getting stroked with wrath and that continuous stroke. We constantly getting that knee on our neck, all type of stuff. It's just our people. Israel is going through that, right? He stroked us. He smote us in wrath with that continuous stroke constantly. They never let up off of us. It never let up. It's just constantly back to back violations and oppression upon our people. Right? Read on.
He that ruleth with the nations in anger.
He that ruled the nations in anger. Esau rules all the nations, and they use force to do that. They go in there, they'll bomb people for what they're doing with their people, but treating us like garbage over here. You know what I mean? They go in there, persecute everybody else. Go in there, colonize all other countries. They rule all the other nations in anger. Right, Reed?
In persecuted, and none hindereth.
Right. So he's saying, yo, he that smote the people in wrath, the one that constantly oppressed us, right? He that ruled the nations in anger is now persecuted. Now during this time when it's going to happen, Esau is going to be the one that's persecuted, and nobody's going to stop that. Nobody's going to come and help him out with that. He's getting what he deserved. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. What goes around comes around. That's what's happening. Right? Read on.
The whole earth is at rest.
When he goes into slavery, when Esau gets taken down, the whole earth is going to be at rest.
That's powerful.
The whole earth is going to be at rest. The whole earth is going to be tired. It's going to be able to relax, because when you look at it, yo, matter of fact, we're going to keep on reading, but the whole earth is going to be at rest, right? Read.
And it's quiet. They break forth into singing.
Everybody's going to be happy once Esau falls. Everybody's going to be happy once Esau falls, because Esau is a cancer to the whole world. Right, Reed?
Yea, the fig tree rejoice.
The fir trees.
Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee. And the cider of Lebanon.
Cedars.
And the cedars of
Lebanon.
Saying, shall thou art laid down?
Since thou art laid down, right?
Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against thee.
Against us. So they're saying, yo, the trees is going to even rejoice when Esau gets taken down, which is crazy, because, yo, they constantly cutting down trees. They cutting down, like you was telling me before, upstate New York, when they see an apple tree growing, they come and cut it down. Why would you do that?
The trees that were in Seattle were
down. Beginning of spring, they'll cut them down all the way to the roof.
Wow, yeah. Why would you do? That's food right there. That could feed people. But these people are so wicked. They all about their money. They want to make money off of everything instead of just letting people go and eat.
There's a dude.
Cut these natural. The Most High told us don't cut down. You're not supposed to cut down no fruit tree. He give you that for food. They go there. Yo, when they said before Esau came over here, the natives didn't have to have no fishing pole, nothing. They'll walk in the water, put their hand in the water, and come up with a fish. There's so much fish in the water. They had no problems. It wasn't no problem with hunting buffalo. Like, they had everything that they needed that was right there. You could literally live off the land with no problem. Esau come here, they want to overfish. They want to overfish, put stuff in salt. They killing everything, throw it in salt to sell it all over the place. They want to kill off all the buffalo. They want to cut down all the trees.
There's trees that were special. Like Seattle was a rainforest. And so they had trees that were almost the size of a New York skyscraper. Them things are 300-400 feet tall. Some of the only kinds of trees in the world were right here. There are none left. They literally cut them all down. In fact, like while y'all were here, y'all saw that in the streets, in certain streets, there were like little railway car, little grooves in the street. That's because that's how they were taking the Henry Yesler was the first person with a sawmill over here. He invented the sawmill. So he was literally like, the whole city is one big hill, when you were here. So they were literally just taking the trees and just sliding them all the way down to the water. Like, they destroyed everything. It takes them like 1,000 years to grow. So there won't be any more. That's it. That's
Esau is insatiable. Insatiable. They never get enough. Let's get on real quick. Let's go to Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2.
I was reading that in Puerto Rico, there was a flightless bird, completely harmless. You can just run up to it and catch it with no problem. And it had been here this whole time while the Tainos were hanging out. They were just here. They were plentiful. As soon as Columbus and Orlando got here, it took them like 60 years. They were extinct. All of them. Extinct. Gone.
Esau is the one that be killing all those animals for fun. And, you know what I mean? Everything's endangered because of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they really literally destroying the earth.
When you see poaching videos, who do you see kneeling with the rifle?
Yeah, Esau.
That's it.
Always.
Not even Magog, Gog, none of them. Not Israel, but none of them. Just him. That's it.
It's Esau. Esau is a cancer.
Endangered species for a reason.
Yeah. Right. Let's get Habakkuk chapter 2. And we could actually we could start from the top.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. And I will stand up my wrath and set me upon
I'll stand upon my watch.
So like I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Right? Read on. So we always supposed to be on our watch, right? But read on.
And the Most High answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
And this is, as we read this, and the more we get into the knowledge, we see that this is actually very plain. A lot of this stuff is very clear to us. It's to everybody else, to the other nations that's following, or Israelites that's following after Esau, it can confusing. But this is very plain to us, right? He said, make it plain upon tables, read.
That he may run that readeth it.
And when we came and we read this, like, oh, we Israel. Oh, this is real. You know what I mean? We running out there teaching that word, right? But read on.
For the vision is yet for an appointment.
For appointed time. So this is something that's going to happen in the future, right? Which is going on now. This what he's writing right now is going on right now as we live, right? Read.
But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
So he's letting it know. He's like, yo, it'll speak, it would not lie. See, back then, when Habakkuk was writing this, he wouldn't understand what was going on. But now we seeing it. We're seeing what's going on. So he's like, yo, though it tarry, though I know we waiting, it seems like we've been waiting forever to get into the kingdom. He says, yo, wait for it. It's going to surely come. It's not going to tarry. Like, yo, we think it's taking a long time, but it's really not. It's right around the corner. Right? But read on.
Verse 4. Behold, his soul verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
That's Esau. The soul, his soul is not upright. He lifted himself up. He tried to put himself up like a god, but it's not upright in him. He's not right. Right? Read on.
But the just shall live by his faith.
But we living by faith. We're living by faith right now. We have faith that the Most High is going to come and take us up out of this, right? Read on.
Yea, also because he transgressed by wine.
He transgressed by wine. And then wine could go into all type of different doctrines, as we see. Like when you read in Isaiah, let you know, wine, being a drunkard off of wine, sometimes talking about getting into all different types of doctrines, right? Read on.
He is a proud man.
And you cannot tell me it's not Esau. Ain't nobody more proud than Esau. Esau is the most
proud boys.
Proud boys, exactly. There you go. They calling themselves proud. They the ones that say, oh, America is the number one country, the greatest country in the world, and they never been nowhere else. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Right, but read on.
Neither keep it at home.
Neither keep it at home. So they're not worried about what's going on here. We got all these people that's starving over here. You know what I mean? People that's homeless over here, all type of problems over here in America, right? But read.
Who enlarges his desire as hell.
He don't keep it home. He's not worried about what's going on here, all the problems over here. And that's what I know Putin said that before. He was like, yo, y'all got all the president of China said that. What's his name? Xi
Jinping.
Yeah, saying like, yo, y'all talking about what we doing over here, and y'all not taking care of your people over there.
I was gonna bring that up.
The old Iranian president Mahmoud Ahmadinejad said the same thing. He was like, all of them said that. Yeah.
America got the most problems out of everybody when it comes to their people, and they worried about everybody else trying to go over there, tell them what they could do with their people, trying to take their land and their resources and all that stuff, going fighting wars for the oil. We got oil right over here, and they going fighting wars and doing all type of stuff for oil in the Middle East. You feel what I'm saying? Trying to take everything from everywhere else. They enlarge their desire, right? As hell, as a grave. because you can never. People die every day. You feel what I'm saying? You could always bury people. The death. You feel what I'm saying? Like the. I'm trying to find the right way to put it.
People die every day, B.
You can never have too many graves. You feel what I'm saying? There's enough land for all that. That's what he's saying. They desire they enlarges his desire as hell, meaning he can never get enough. He's insatiable. He wants everything. He wants all the animals, all the trees. He wants all the money. He wants everything. Right? If that makes sense. Read that again. I explained that good. I know I kind of.
No, that was good.
All right. Yeah, read that. Read verse 5 again.
This book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
He also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man.
Mm-hmm.
Neither keepeth at home,
mm-hmm.
who enlarges his desire as hell,
right,
and is as death.
Is as death. You can never have too many people die. Like it's people die. Many people die every day. That's how his desire is. He just constantly wants everything. He's insatiable. Right? Read.
And cannot be satisfied.
Cannot be satisfied. He cannot be satisfied with all the trees, cutting down all the trees. He can't be satisfied with damn near all the fish being, a lot of fish being extinct because of him overfishing. Animals being extinct or endangered because they poaching them for different things. Like they insatiable, right? Read.
But gathereth unto him all nations. And giveth unto him all people.
They want to be control of everybody. That's why they over there in Africa trying to take control of everything. Over in the islands, over in the Middle East, China, they all over these places trying to take over everything.
Antarctica. They in Antarctica trying to take over Antarctica. Ain't nothing there. Yeah.
Right?
Salakia.
Penguins and polar bears.
Salakia.
These niggas is insatiable, huh?
Isn't there a scripture that says even the robbers leave something or something like that?
Oh yeah. That's here.
What?
Precept.
That's in here.
Oh, Khan.
I never read that.
I believe that's in here. I believe that's right in here.
Say even the robbers.
I believe that's in here though.
Verse 8. Shall not all these take up a parable against him?
Mm-hmm.
And a taunting
proverb.
And a taunting proverb against him.
Yeah, so all these other nations, they gonna see this and they gonna come against him. They gonna be talking about it, which we see it. They saying that now. They like, yo, how y'all got all these problems over there in America and y'all trying to take over here where we at, right? But read on.
And say, woe to him that increases that which is not his.
That's exactly what they doing. He said, woe to him, destruction to him that increases that which is not his. They trying to take over everywhere. They made English the number one spoken language in the world. In the world. Everybody need to try to learn to speak English. You can't fly a plane without speaking English, no matter where you flying at.
That's funny because in the Daughter of Babylon, they barely know how to speak English. They completely decimate their own entire language.
Yeah. This is bastardized English,
and
but this bastardized English is the same one that they spreading all over the world.
Right, because other people like Africans, they'll be like, "Yo, I went to England to learn English, but I didn't learn it. I had to come here to really learn." You know.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? To read on.
How long, and to him that leadeth himself with thick clay, shall they rise not up? Suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that which vex thee, and shall be for booties?
Booties, yeah. That shall be for booties. Booties is
like spoil, right? Like
spoils, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah, treasures, yeah. Just whatever you get from them. You know what I mean? Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, which is the other nations going to come against America, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. They're going to take their spoils, right? Because read
verse 8. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the vengeance of the land,
violence.
and for the violence of the land. of the city and of all that dwelt therein.
Right. So they're gonna spoil them. That's where that World War III is gonna start at. Right. All this stuff going on. Right. But read on.
Woe to him that committeth an evil.
Covetous.
So I get woe to him that covetous.
Covetous means you want something. Yeah, you got a extreme desire for something that's not yours. You know what I mean?
So I go. Woe to him that covetous the evil covenants to his house.
Right. So they want these like destruction to them that keep wanting to take stuff that's not theirs and bring it to their house. Right. You know.
That he may set his nest on the high, on high. That he may be delivered from the power of evil.
Right. You know.
Thou hast consulted. That has consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people.
And they killed many people, murdered many people. He said, y'all consulted shame to your house. America brought shame to them, right? Read.
And has sinned against thy soul.
They sinned against their soul, right? Read on.
For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and
right, read on.
And
establish
a city by iniquity.
Right, and this place was built on blood and established with iniquity. I thought that was over here. I'm actually gonna try to Google it because I do want that.
I got pieces.
What you got?
I got Numbers 35 and 33.
Yeah.
So you shall not pollute the land in which you are, for blood pollutes the land, and no expectation can be made for the land for the blood that is shed on it, except by the blood of him who shed it. Right, and that's why, because all that blood that they spilled over here, you know what I mean? That's why they have to go through that. That's why they can't make it. They can't get no repentance because they killed way too many people. Too much blood was shed. Yeah, if you could grab me real quick to Revelations chapter 18. No, 11. 11, that's what I want. 11, we're gonna start at 18. Oh yeah, and what you wanted out that Obadiah. Shapar, you can hear me?
Khan, it is Obadiah.
Obadiah, verse 5. You could after he reads Revelations, you could read that for me.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 11.
Come.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise.
Hold on, Slakia, 11:18. That's what I meant. I be getting a little dyslexic sometimes. Salakia.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come. And the time of the dead that they should be judged. Right. So that nations are angry, the wrath has come. They making a lot of money off America too. You know what I mean? But you know, they're gonna be angry over that. So be it. But the time has come for that they should be judged, right? But read on. And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. That time is coming where he's going to give reward to his servants, the prophets, right? His servants, the prophets, right? Read. And to the saints. Which is the children of Israel, read. And them that fear thy name. Those that's keeping his laws, statutes, commandments, right? Read. Small and great. Whether you think they elders, you know what I mean, or foot soldiers or whatever, right? Read. And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. And it's time to destroy them which destroy the earth. Oh, yeah. Esau, that was Revelations 11:18. Esau is destroying the earth. It's time that they need to fall. Okay, like what we see in Isaiah, it says, the trees is going to break out into singing. The trees is going to sing when Esau fall. Right? But yeah, I agree that. Obadiah.
What you making?
This the book of Obadiah.
Yeah, I would die of verse 5.
Verse 1, chapter 1, verse 5. Well, only chapter, verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Yeah,
If
like
great
yo, he said, yo, if the thieves came, they're gonna grab everything they could grab, everything that they want, and they're gonna get up out of there. They ain't trying to spend too much time there, right? Read.
if the great gatherers came to thee, would they have not leave some grapes?
Yeah, you can't take everything. You gotta leave something behind, right? Read on.
How are these things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought out?
Well, he can't. Esau can't imagine that. They gotta take every last bit. They gotta take every last thing. They gotta bleed this world dry. Bleed this world dry and take everything. They want to kill all the fish, kill all the animals, cut down all the trees. So it's got to destroy them, not destroy the earth. Right? We go back to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14, verse read 8 again.
Just the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 8. Yea, the fir tree rejoices at thee, and the cedar of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Right. So he says, since they laid down, since Esau has been taken out of commission, nobody's just coming up just killing them off. Nobody just cutting down trees just for whatever. Right? Read on.
Verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved from thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead from thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it hath raised up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations.
Right, yeah. Hell, the grave is getting ready for Esau, right? You can read on.
And all shall speak and shall say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
So they gonna see what's going on in Esau. They like, yo, y'all not running things no more. Y'all not running things no more. Y'all down like we are, right? Read.
Art thou becoming like unto us?
So we see this whole thing right here is talking about Esau right now. Once we rule and Esau falls, because remember, let's get on real quick. Second Ezra 6 and 9. We gotta understand that these two go hand in hand. This is what the whole thing is about. Second Ezra chapter 6 and 9.
This is the book of Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
This whole movie, like Elder Banyemi was bringing up earlier, this whole thing is like a movie, and the two stars is Jacob and Esau. Israel and Edom. You know what I mean? We, of course, are the heroes of the movie. We the stars, and Esau is the main antagonist, the main villain. You feel what I'm saying? So this is what this whole movie is about. Esau is on top, and they're gonna fall, and we're gonna rise, right? So that's why you see it start when Isaiah 14. It starts with Israel rising and Esau falling. This is what this whole thing is talking about, right? So read that again, Isaiah 14 and 11.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 11. You said 11?
But you didn't read that yet. You can read it.
This pomp is brought down to the grave.
So they're going to be brought down to the grave. They're going to be brought down to the bottom, extremely low. Everybody else is going to be over Esau at this time, when this time comes, right? Read.
And the noise of thy vials, and the worm is spread under thee, And the worm covered thee, and the worms covered thee.
Yeah, so they're gonna be born all the way down to the ground, basically. That's what it's getting into.
Like some bullshit.
Right? They not gonna ever rise again. Right? Read on.
How art thou fallen from heaven?
How art thou fallen from heaven? We got to remember what heaven even means. You feel what I'm saying? You got a spiritual heaven, and you got heaven as in a place of existence. Heaven meaning you on top, right? He said, how art thou fallen from heaven? This is still going. This is ongoing. Who was we talking about already? The king of Babylon, right? Esau, the daughter of Babylon, right? That's who he's talking about, Esau. This whole time he's talking about Esau. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven? Who?
Oh, Lucifer.
Oh, Lucifer. So he's calling Esau Lucifer. But let's get into this. Matter of fact, keep on reading.
Son of the morning.
Son of the morning, right? Why? Why are they the son of the morning? Because everybody looked up to them. Let's get into this real quick. Lucifer. Again, Lucifer is a Latin word. It's not English. This shouldn't even been in the sword. It really shouldn't. You see what word is used, right? Hell yeah. Right? And it says light bearer, shining one, morning star, Lucifer, of the king of Babylon and Satan, which is not Satan. Describing the king of Babylon, right? But it's basically the shining one, the one that everybody looks up to. That's what it's talking about. The one who, remember, everybody's supposed to be following after our light, right? We're going to be bringing that word, the sword. What does Esau bring? He pushing homosexuality. They push that to every country. They pushing like, okay, churches, they can't get no money if they not pushing homosexuality. These countries ain't getting no help if they not pushing homosexuality. All these different things. They're pushing their doctrine all over the world. They pushing the English language. This is why they're looked up to. They're pushing the image of God as a so-called white man. This is what makes them the light bearer. They're the ones that everybody's looking to. You look out, like, for instance, flies, right? Flies, mosquitoes, all type of insects. Where do they go?
The lights?
They always fly to the light. That's what the people is doing to Esau right now. So right now, Esau is a light bearer. But when we read in Revelations, once we take over, we're going to become those light bearers. You feel what I'm saying? That's what that word means. It don't.
I said I might have been a little. This is a good class. I might have been a little selfish in requesting it because all of this is between me and the non-messianic brother. Because but you're everything you just said. I'm about to take that as ammo back because his whole thing is, well, they call Lucifer the light bearer too, and if Christ is the light bearer, who you think Christ is? But I just left him leaking. I'll tell you about it after class. But yeah, that was good.
Yeah, they don't got nothing to do. This got nothing to do with Satan at all. You know what I mean? It's people looking up to Esau. That's it. And this is actually a good class. I'm glad you did request it. Let's see. What was I doing? But yeah, so we go back. That word was not that. That's not the name of Satan. That's a Latin word. All it means is light bearer. That's it. You know what I mean? That's all. Let's go back to. Let's keep on reading. Though. Keep on reading. Isaiah.
How art thou cut down to the ground?
What did I do? Oh, this is what I needed to do right here.
Keep on.
Yeah, keep reading.
Which didst weaken the nations.
So he did weaken the nations. Who weakened the nations? Esau. Right? Read on.
For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Yeah, and that's not too far fetched. That's what they be doing. Or Apollo 13, all these different space missions, putting space stations up there, talking about the evil has landed when they got on the moon, if that was even possible, which I doubt. You feel what I'm saying? But they trying to make it seem like they setting their nest amongst the stars. You know what I mean? They exalting themselves as God. They painting pictures of white people as the Most High, white people as Yahweh Shai and angels. You feel what I'm saying? They making themselves as gods. You feel what I'm saying? They even put even making the children of Israel as so-called white people, because the children of Israel are gods on earth. You know what I mean? So that's what they doing. They exalting themselves. They're thrown above the stars of the Most High. When they want to
That's
get
why.
into cloning, they trying to clone people and clone animals and create all type of new living things in laboratories. Like they really trying to play God.
Science is a big part of it too.
That's a
Yeah.
movie. Play God.
Yeah, that's it.
Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, yeah. What was the name of that?
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, Khan. Yeah, right. We'll read on
Khan. So like I was at
verse 13.
Yeah. I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Yeah, and where they at? They took over our land. That was that Balfour Declaration where they got their people into our land and took it over.
The Balfour Declaration?
Yeah. Where they got Esau over there, Amalek over there in Israel. Took over Israel. You feel what I'm saying? Like they sitting in the mount, the congregation, and they running everything. Everybody looking at them like they the children of the Most High.
And they get reparations.
And they get reparations, right? It's crazy, right? But read on. Still, as we see, this got nothing to do. When we read this whole chapter, this has nothing to do with Satan himself, right? But read on.
Verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
That's what they trying to do. They flying, you know what I mean? And spaceships and all that stuff. They trying to be like the Most High. Read.
Yea, thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
They're gonna be brought down to the grave. They're not the Most High. They're gonna be brought down to the bottom of everything. They don't know how that feels because they never was ever on all the way on the bottom. But once we get
scream,
we'll be on the bottom,
You know how they be throwing tantrums and they be screaming. Ah! They're gonna be like that.
Yo, they can't handle it. They'll kill themselves if they lose money.
Yeah.
They get in an
the
argument.
Great Depression, they would throw themselves out the windows. During the Great Depression, they would throw themselves out the windows. It was nothing.
Yeah, they get mad at somebody. They want to shoot up a school and all that stuff. Like they can't handle being bullied at all. They not used to being on the bottom.
I'm just actually sitting here thinking about it. When you look at those destitute pictures of the Great Depression, I don't remember seeing any of our people sitting around complaining or anything was going wrong. Or
we make the best of every situation. We start singing.
Yeah. They didn't. You never look back. You never look back in history and see the Great Depression and see our people having an issue ever. I just now thought ever.
Yeah.
Nothing. Ever.
We were chilling. We were sharing one pie with the whole neighborhood, chilling with the music playing.
If it was, if it was Haiti, it'd be one mud pie for the whole neighborhood. Hey, listen, if you're gonna be brought down lower than everybody else, that means you have to be brought down lower than the nation of Haiti. That's pretty rough, bro.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
Yeah, rough. Haiti is going through hell right now. You know what I mean? But that just shows they're gonna be brought down, And we chilling. That's a fact. So they gonna be going. The Esau ain't gonna be able to handle it. They ain't gonna be able to handle nothing that they put us through. They ain't gonna be able to handle that at all, right? But yeah, we could keep on reading.
Verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, "Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?"
Now this is. We got to pay attention to these words being used. Is this the man? This is a man. This is not a spirit. This is the man that made the earth to tremble. That what?
That did shake kingdoms.
That did shake kingdoms. This is Esau. Esau had the world tremble. Esau, that Greek army, Alexander the Greek, his army had everybody scared. Then you go into the Romans. The Romans had everybody scared. The European army, the British army, Napoleon's army. Feel what I'm saying? All these Edomite armies. American army right now, the American army is looked at as the most powerful army in the world. They got bases everywhere. Everybody is scared of them.
unbeatable.
That's how they looking at them, right? And they made the earth to tremble, did shake kingdoms, right? But read on.
Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners.
Right. They just straight bomb a place. Look what they did to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Made that place a wilderness, those two cities. You know what I mean? And they don't open their houses for the prisoners. They throwing everybody else in here. America got the most prisons in the world. They got the most prisoners in the world. Right? But we can read on.
And who's the majority of the people in those prisons?
Of course, Israel, blacks and Latinos in every prison. Right? But read on.
Facts.
All the kings of the nations, even all of them lie in glory, everyone in his own house.
Yeah, so everybody's going to be happy. All the other nations are going to be happy. They don't realize it yet, but they're going to be happy when Esau falls. Right? Read on.
But thou art cast out of thy grave like in an abominable branch. And as the remnant of those that are slain, thus through with a sword.
So Esau is going to be, this can't be the spiritual sin demon Satan being thrust through with a sword, right? So we don't say going to be cast out like an abominable branch, right? Everybody going to see how abominable and how filthy Esau is, and they're going to realize that, and they're going to, you know what I mean? They're going to look at him as that.
And here we go. Here we are back at people being trees again, the abominable branch.
Yeah, facts. Right? But read on.
Going down to the stone of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet.
Trodden under feet, right? Read on.
Thus shall not be joined, or thou shall not be joined with them in the burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, and slain thy people. The seed of evil doing shall never be renewed.
Yeah, so they the seed of the evildoers. So they're not going to be buried with everybody else. They're not going to be looked at like everybody else. They're not going to be treated like everybody else. They're going to be looked at by everybody, not just Israel, the whole world. Every other nation is going to be looking at them like disgusting filth. The same way the whole world look at us right now as disgusting filth. Them damn niggers, them damn spicks. They're going to be looking at Esau like that. Right? But read on.
Prepare slaughter for his children.
Now, this can't be the spiritual demon Satan. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, right?
For the iniquities of their fathers.
For the iniquity of their fathers. And we always constantly bring this up. You know what I mean? Their fathers died happily. They didn't go through nothing. They didn't get this judgment. Their children that's living now will get that judgment. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, right, Reed?
God.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the faces of the world within the cities.
Right. They're not going to be taking over nothing no more. They're not going to have their own lands. Every other nation's going to have their own land. They're going to be able to chill. Once they're done with their punishment, they're going to be chilling their own land. They're going to have their laws. They're going to have to go by our laws too, though. But they're going to be having their laws. They're going to do how they want to do. Esau don't get that chance no more. No more cities for y'all. No more land for y'all. None of that. Y'all straight possession to death. Right? Read on.
For I will raise up against them and say, the Most High of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant and the son and nephew, saith the Most High.
Right. So you're gonna cut off all of them. Right? They not cut off all of them. They're not gonna have no remnants no more. None of that. Right? Read on.
I will also make it a possession for the bitter and pools of water, and will sweep it from the bosom of destruction.
Right. Yeah. So as we see, this is talking about Esau. I mean, let's grab real quick also. Time. Let's grab also Nahum. Yeah.
I've never read that book.
Huh?
I've never read that book.
Nahum got some fire in there.
Yeah, Nahum got some fire.
All right, I might be me today then. I've actually never read Nahum. Nahum, I've always said Nahum.
We're gonna read chapter 3 to go into how these other nations. What this
I
was
was
just
gonna
talking about
say
how these
3.
other nations are gonna start
Woe
looking
to
at.
the bloody city.
You want to read
Woe
it?
to the bloody city.
Here we go.
Nah.
You got
The
to read
reader
loud
right
though.
there needs
I
to
can
keep
barely hear
reading.
you.
Nah. Let whoever's reading.
Yeah.
Just tell them don't stumble on no words.
Nahum chapter 3.
And make sure you read loud. So
Which verse was it?
Verse
we're gonna
1.
start from the top.
This is the book of Nahum chapter 3. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery.
It's talking about here. This is that city.
Tell him he got to emphasize that, man.
You're talking about New York.
Tell him he
You
got to
say
emphasize that.
Emphasize it. You want to put that emphasis on it? Woe to that bloody
Yeah,
city.
put some bass in his voice. Yeah, calm.
Let's talk about New York.
Huh?
Let's talk about New York.
You said
This is
New
talking
York.
about Babylon.
I know.
That's talking about it. Right? Read that again. Let's
This is the book of Nahum chapter 3 verse 1. Woe to the bloody city.
Woe meaning destruction. You know what I mean? That bloody city is talking about here. There's no place more bloodier than America. Period. No place more bloody. Over 77 million Native Americans was killed over here. You got over 60 million so-called Latinos murdered over here. You had over 100 million so-called African American slaves died just coming over here. That's on the way over here. They can't even count how many actually died over here. And then we can't even put a number on how many was so-called blacks and Latinos and natives was just murdered over here by police and so on and so forth. It's a constant, all-time thing. There's no place more bloody in here.
You can't put a number on the island. Can't put a number on the islands either. They would clear those, clear them.
Yeah, but they, we could add those. We could add that to here basically. But this is that main bloody city, right? America, that great city Babylon. He said, "Woe to the bloody city!" Right? Read.
It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not.
And it's all full of lies and robbery. Everything about this place, they robbed us of our nationality, our culture. They robbed us of our land. They robbing not just us, but everybody else. They going all other places robbing them. They lying to us, calling us blacks, calling us Latinos, calling us all different things, calling us everything but the children of Israel. Lying to us, telling them that this is their land. They saying that this is the Esau's land, that this is the land of America, and that Mexicans can't come over here. They coming over here illegally. Like, how you telling somebody that is really their land that they over here illegally? When really so-called the Caucasians are the real illegal immigrants over here, in all honesty. They the ones that came over here illegally. They the rapists. They the murderers. You know what I mean? Full of lies and robbery.
And they telling everybody else to go home.
And
get out of here. Go home.
Out of here. Right? But we don't.
The prey departed not. The noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariot.
This is going into the warfare that's coming up, right? Read on.
Verse 3. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses. And there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses.
Yeah, so it's going to be so many bodies out here. Like, people are going to actually be stumbling over these bodies. Right? Read on.
Verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot.
And this is that well-favored harlot. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of this well-favored harlot. They do business with everybody. America makes money off of every other country. Well, America makes money off of Israel over here, and every other country makes money off of America.
So this would be connected to that prophecy in Revelation about that harlot in the waters drunk with all the abominations of the earth.
Right. That's the fact. Yeah. That's well-favored harlot. That's right here, right? Read on.
The mistress of witchcraft.
All that witchcraft stuff that goes on over here. That sorcery. Disney Channel talk about they put all type of spell cast. The pharmaceutical company, everything about this place is witchcraft and sorcery. right? Read on.
That selleth nations through her whoredoms.
That selleth nations through her whoredoms. This place sells nations.
Selleth nations.
Sell nations. They sell the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom. They even still selling our birth certificates still to this day. Birth certificates, social security cards, making money off us through her whoredoms, right? Read on.
And families through her witchcraft.
And so families to her witchcraft, right? Read.
Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts.
Most High let it be known, he is against this place, right? Read.
I will discover thy skirts upon thy face.
He said, Most High said, he gonna lift their skirt. He gonna let all the nations see the shame of America. They're gonna see the shame of Esau. They're gonna see the shame, and they're gonna start looking down on Esau and notice, like, yo, Esau is not as big as they thought they was. Right? Read on.
And I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
Imagine we walking down the street, we got like 3 Edomites on chains.
3 conquistadors. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, they're gonna be, you know what I mean? They're gonna see their shame. Right? But read on.
Verse 6. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee.
And I can imagine they're gonna be walking around smelling like garbage. They smell bad now. Man.
Now, yeah, I just about.
They don't like to shower.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, they're gonna be smelling like garbage. It's gonna be crazy, right? So they're gonna cast abominable filth upon thee, right? Read.
And make thee vile.
And make them vile. The people nobody gonna want to be around them, right? Read.
And will set thee as a gazing stock.
And he's gonna make them as a gazing stock. He's gonna make a real example out of them. You know what I mean? So it's everything. So pretty much that's all understood, right? When it came to the Lucifer and the Morning Star part.
We covered a lot other than that, actually. So this was good. Good class.
It seemed like that. We always go into a lot more stuff. But that's the main purpose why we went in here for the Morning Star, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
So we see that Lucifer is not Satan.
I'm the Morning Star.
You know what I mean? That's somebody that's looked up to. That's it.
Con.
All right. That was a good. How long was that class?
An hour and a half.
Yeah, we get back to the same yard. Stop sharing.
That's a good class. That constituted a whole class.
About an hour and a half. So that was a good class. Yeah. We're gonna hit the street. Get up out of here. Oh yeah, and we got matter of fact, I don't know how I can work.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna be there next weekend.
Yeah, I'm in the broadcast. Matter of fact,
yo, since we all right here right now, what's good for next weekend? First fruits.
Yeah, in the broadcast.